The balance changes for the event troops and the YETIMITE clone have gone live in game, and today I'm going to test out both of them and we're just going to see that it is still insanely strong. So here's a list of all the balance changes that went into effect today. I'm sorry that it's kind of hard to read. This is the official graphic from Supercell. Not really much I can do about that. As you can see, the Kayn got a DPS nerf, but only in the first form at the highest level. So the Kayn's charge still going to be very strong in the game. Giant got a wide range of changes. The DPS and the hit points of the Disarmer at basically all levels got a nerf, but the biggest things were over here. So the attacking Disarmer does not target air anymore, so the defending minion Prince is now a problem. The rage speed and damage boost, which was huge because I think it's for the first 20 seconds that the Disarmers did all that extra damage, both of them in half by 50%, and the defending Disarmer now respawns twice to be in line with the offensive ones. And then the other thing here is the YETIMITE, their housing space went from 1 to 2. So let's test this out. We're going to start with an FC here and then get into 2 Legends attacks. So I've been using this army during the event. I kind of love it. 2 clone spells, because in the past, 2 clone spells with the YETIMITEs was enough to get insane value. And then you finish off with the mass disarmor. But as you can see there, the clone spells run out kind of quickly because you're getting half as many YETIMITEs as before. Now, that's a nice funnel, but it would have been an excellent funnel if you could get the scatter shot down as well. So I actually think, just based on this, and don't worry, by the end of the video I'll have a full opinion on the YETIMITE clone trick for you guys, but just off this start it's like nice, but it's not broken. So we come in with the Sui here with the King and Queen dealing, getting one offensive army camp and dealing with another. Now we have the Disarmers coming in on the bottom, and you really do need to bring the Royal Champion with them. If you're doing the Royal Champion charge version of this attack, then you do need to bring probably the Lizard on the Warden and a bunch of Headhunters. But if I've got the Royal Champion here, I'm not really as worried about the defending minion Prince. I pop the Queen ability on the right hand side. As you can see, the Mirror Clone doesn't really work that well with the Giant in this case because the Giant just runs away. Probably would have been better with the Healer Puppet there, but yeah, I mean, you can never really know how your Archer Queen's going to go, right? She's got a mind of her own, but I mean, look at these Disarmers, right? We are completely avoiding the Town Hall. We go straight through the Giga Bomb without a Warden ability. The Healing Tome has finished well and truly by this point. The Warden's not even following the Disarmers, and the Giants go and get the Town Hall, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I've still got so many of the Disarmers up. I didn't even set a good funnel for them. I used quite a few spells on the YETIMITE clone opener, and it still works out. We're hanging on to the Royal Champion. I haven't used the Siege Machine at all, or my CC. This is a pretty legit base. It's not fully maxed out, but look at how many Disarmers are up. I count 3. I lost 2 Disarmers that whole attack. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, the Disarmer is just the most broken event troop in history, and this doesn't change anything. What about if we come up against a Legends League base with 2 Rage Towers and a few higher level defenses than my base has got? So we're doing the YETIMITE clone here. The YETIMITEs go in. Beautifully done, and they're just cloning about slowly here. They're standing in the rage spell, but look at this. We do not quite finish off that monolith. Now, I guarantee you, pre-update, we weren't just getting rid of the monolith, we were also probably activating one, if not both, of the rage towers. I tried to be sneaky here, but I don't have an invis spell. I was kind of hoping the skeletons would take down the monolith. They do not, so I used a lot of spells here for not really a lot of value. We come in with the King and Queen on the right hand side. I love putting the Kayn in front of them, or the Giant, either or, and then we're going to counter this Yeti and not really let it get much value. And whilst that's all tanking, we'll come in with the Royal Champion and the Disarmers through the bottom. I don't even get the Kayn or the Disarmer in the Warden ability here. That would have been completely ideal if we did that, but you don't need it to go ideal in Clash of Clans currently. And look at the center of this base, right? Look at how much damage is still on the base here. We have a back-end Rage Tower with all manner of defenses in it. We have the Town Hall here. We have a Fire Spitter aiming at us. And that's not even including all these defenses on the top side of the base my hero's going to have to deal with. There goes the Giga Bomb. All of my troops are so super low. I actually thought for a second I might fail this. The Royal Champion ability has gone off super early. The King ability on the top side does work. And then I have a look, and we've just gone through that Rage Tower like it's not even there. The disarmers just run across the base so quickly that even if there's a Rage Tower, you're never going to get the full benefit of it because the troops are in and out of that area so quickly. And I mean, look at this. It's still busted, the disarmer, but the Yetimite clone isn't. And I actually think the Yetimite clone is in a beautiful spot at the moment where it's still can be used. Now, obviously, it's getting flattered here by the disarmer. The best way, and we'll do this not in today's video, but maybe in a future video, is test the Yetimite clone with an army like dragons finishing off the base or root riders, not in a broken event troop, and see if this Yetimite clone's actually getting enough value or if it's just going to be kind of dead in the game. We'll finish it off with a box base here, and you're going to see me do the Yetimite clone here, but I do actually clone Yetis. Now, there is some really interesting math behind everything. Actually, let's do the math now. So the Yetimites are currently 2 housing space, and that means if you bring 1 clone spell, so you can see I've got the 2 clone spells here, you're going to get 21 Yetimites per clone. But if you clone the Yeti instead of a Yetimite, you're going to get 2 Yetis, 18 space each, and then 3 Yetimites after that to make it up to 42, right? And each Yeti has 13 spawned units. So that means you get 29 Yetimites total if you clone the Yetis instead of the Yetimites. So why would we clone the Yetimites? So you're going to see I'm going to attempt the Yetimite clone trick here, but I am accidentally going to clone 2 Yetis. Now I could have cloned up to 4, given I'm using 2 clone spells, but I did get only 2. But have a look at this, right? The Yeti pathing, completely unpredictable. But one thing I really don't like about the Yetis is when they die, have a look at this, right? All the Yetimites appear at once. Did you see at the end there was like 3 or 4 of the Yetimites that were swagged because they all target the same building. Whereas when you clone the Yetimites, they appear much like, you know, they don't all appear at once, right? They're like a constant stream, and far less of them feel wasted to me. On top of that, look at this Yeti on the outside of the base. What are those Yetimites doing, right? Sweet, we get an archer tower. Look at this yet again. That was like 6 Yetimites for what? 6 or 7 Yetimites for 1 archer tower? You don't need that many Yetimites for the 1 archer tower. So, whilst you do get way more Yetimites by cloning Yetis instead, it just feels super unreliable and inconsistent. Now, if you can clone your Yetis into a good location, this is the only attack in today's video where I actually use a siege barracks just because the Yetimite clone went so bad. If you can get the Yetis into a good location and you know they're not going to path out of the base, then maybe it can be worth it, but I'm still unconvinced. And that's kind of a toss-up I like that's in the game at the moment though, right? Would you rather have 29 Yetimites and also the 4 Yetis in of themselves tanking, or do you want 21 Yetimites but they're dispersed more evenly throughout the base and less likely to be completely useless? And that's a decision you guys can make. I'm still leaning towards the Yetimite clone being better just because you can, I feel like you can path them through the base better, but you can definitely make a case that it is much better to just get 29 of them instead of 21. And I'd love to hear your comments down below once you've used the Yetimite clone. I love doing a bit of maths for you guys as well. That way you guys don't have to do the maths in your own time. I mean, this attack went bad, so I used my siege barracks. Don't know why I did. We have so many of the disarmers up. So I think it's safe to say the disarmer is still ridiculous. We saw the giant in the friendly challenge take down the town hall, basically one-on-one. It's still ridiculous. The Cane charge is still insane. No amount of DPS loss will change that. Event troops are still OP. Enjoy using them, but the Yetimite clone you might have to think about.